This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir. How you doing? How you doing? Bit of a snooze fest at home against the Chelsea Blues. 0-0. That's all she wrote. 1 point. I think we deserve more. No, United fans wanted more, but a draw's all we get.
You know, the scoreline might not say much, but that game, there's one team that wanted to win. There's one team that needs to spend another $250 million. Super frank, absolutely atrocious performance from Chelsea scum. You get into the stats. United came on strong. Ole made the adjustments. A lot to build from here. I know there was a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks on Twitter just slating the lineup, but you have to look at this performance. A lot of fixtures, a lot going on. Obviously, we hate the Chelsea Blues. You know it if you listen to this pod. But Ole did need to make changes, and I do think if any team was going to win it, we would have. And if we took our chances, credit to Mendy, he stepped up. I really think this was our game. We can play this match, draw, and feel confident going to RB Leipzig to do the business. And a European night.
European night, which we've already shown the boys are not intimidated by. But you made a good point in the opening, is that which of these two sides, if you said one of them spent $250 million and the manager got every single one of his targets, one of those two sides looked the better side. They had more conviction. They went for the win. They didn't get it, but they were certainly going for it in the second half. And it wasn't Ole. He didn't get his players, but the players that he has underneath him are playing for the badge. But yet we said Chelsea, they kind of just like a lot of block shots. United were pressing. You know, we were turning the screws, turning the strings, as I said. But frustrating because we wanted the win, wanted the 3 points. But I can only imagine what NBC's talking about after that game, bro. Masterclass by somebody.
Kai Havertz.
Sell.
Timo Werner.
Sell.
I mean, they both got the hook. The big money spending's got the hook. They don't score the goals. Chelsea, they're soft. Like, they can pass it well. It looks good when they pass well. Azpilicueta, he's a bitch. NBC, LFC, some of the worst commentary we've heard to date. So we had to change it to Telemundo. They're talking about someone getting brought down in the box on a corner. Hate to say it, if you watch the English Premier League, that does not get called. You're not going to appeal for a VAR call on a pull down on a corner. It's not going to happen in England. Chelsea look like they should be playing in France. So maybe Spain would suit Chelsea better because they're just baby bitches, just like PSG, whinging all over the pitch. They should be worried about winning it. And I think that's what United was focused on. We saw grit. We saw determination. Rashford had some chances. Bruno played well. You know, I really think there's a lot of positives to take home.
No, there are definitely more positives than negatives. People are frustrated because we didn't get any goals. We didn't get the win. I think the win was there to be taken. And I have some questions about the starting 11 in general. Not sure you should go with McTominay in front again after they bust their lungs in Paris midweek. But that being said, it's like the boys did show up and they put the work rate there. You know, I think we could have showed a little bit more urgency going forward, but certainly looked better than Chelsea. Chelsea looked like they were holding on for the last 30 minutes. But hey, we got a lot of games to go. Kicking on from here, but 0-0. No one feels that good after a 0-0 result either way.
Cavani debut as well. The Matador comes on. What'd you make of him impact on this game? He had a nice chance, started off, but then kind of faded.
Nice chance early. Didn't get a lot of impact in the game. Didn't have a lot of chance to do so. We talked about it while we were watching. We would like to see Donny. I think he would have more of an influence because we weren't doing a lot with possession-wise, and it just felt like he wanted to stick with that kind of target front man. But he's got a lot of opportunities going forward for Cavani to shine.
Yeah, and you have to look. Ole's learning on the job. He doesn't necessarily know the right formation. Pogba, we saw him feature at 10. We saw Bruno go back into the 2. We saw Bruno on the right. We saw the 4-4-2 defending. We saw the 4-2-3-1. There's a lot of moving parts in this game, but what I liked is that we finished strong. We end up figuring out in the end a lot of Ole switching up from the bench. So credit to the manager. He's learning about this team. And no Anthony Martial. That's something that just completely passes us by. We're not talking about the Frenchman, our leading scorer, not being able to start for Manchester United. And we're looking to win against Chelsea, like you said, in the summer, and they strengthened. So good for United. A draw. Let's take it at home. It's early days in the league. we got to be focused on Champions League. There's tons of fixtures, tight packed like Ole wants them. Take the draw. Let's beat Leipzig, then crush Arsenal. If there's any team softer than Chelsea, it's got to be the Gunners.
I don't know. That's a low bar, my friend. Chelsea Blues, they do look like they would fit in very well in France. Playing the south of France, flopping all over. Maybe it's the imports type of personalities they brought in, but they don't seem to have much of a backbone. Anyway, a lot of encouraging signs either way, bringing in the type of players that we brought in the second half, going for the win. That's second game in a row where Ole has tried and go for the win in the last bit of the game. Obviously, we didn't get it today, but we marched on from here.
Not quite the late winner that we needed, sir. That being said, quick PSA for the podcast. Please check out our website, www.americanreddevils.com. We have some amazing fan-generated content, some amazing fan contributors. If you'd like to contribute to the blog, please email us, americanreddevils@gmail.com. This platform, we're trying to get the fan perspective out there. American Red Devils, for fans, by fans. If you'd like to support our efforts, click on store on the website. We got some great merch, sir. I'm wearing my Glazers Out scarf. We'll get to the Manchester United earnings later. That was a riot getting up that early. Listen to that earnings call. We have some shirts. We got hoodies, sir. And we have the new 2021 scarf that looks amazing. The greatest of English football. We've won it all. Drop a review on iTunes. We're still giving away stickers if you screenshot it and email it to us. And subscribe to us on YouTube, sir. We're getting that channel off the ground. American Red Devils pod never sleeps. We got a lot of matches.
Pod never sleeps. It's going to be a busy fall and winter, and we appreciate all our fans who are writing reviews. They go a long way. Who are buying merch. That Glazer Out gear is flying off the shelves. Our new scarf. Drape yourself on our History 2021 scarf. Greatest of English football. We have one and all the trophies, sir. And you know what? I think this team's got trophies in it.
Sir, we're in for 4 trophies at the minute. So you need to never say never. We got to get at least, 2, 3 maybe?
I want one trophy. The bigger the better.
Which one?
League, Champions League. I take a league. I want to run in. I just want to be in it. I'd love to be in it by New Year's. So
I'll take a Champions League.
Yeah.
While we're at it, we'll take it. We'll get to that.
Take an FA Cup, mate.
Look, of course, we just talked about it. Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. Cold Saturday morning here in Northern California. We were in the bunker. We were sweating in the bunker, sir. Now I got my down jacket on. We're freezing in the bunker. We got no temperature control out here in the garage.
No insulation, mate. That's what it is. That's why we're in the garage.
So you can support the podcast, get us some insulation. Just kidding. Amazing match, Old Trafford. Old Trafford used to be a fortress. Now we're kind of bending here. Game week 6 in the Premier League. Let's get in that starting lineup, sir. Dave saves world number 1 in net. He's in great form coming in. Luke Shaw playing pretty much every match. Harry Maguire comes back into the team after taking a break. Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka on the right. McTominay, Fred, midfield 2. Fernandez in the hole. James on the left. Mata on the right. Rashford up top. What do you make of that starting 11? A lot of fans puking all over it on Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't really get it, to be honest. I understood what we did with PSG, but I thought, okay, you did McTominay, Fred. They came off perfectly. We won the game, saving, obviously, Matic, Pogba, like your bread and butter midfield that we used all last season, I assume, for this game, and then it wasn't. So that kind of didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and look, we said it was a 4-2-3-1 here as it's listed, but we really kind of played in a 4-4-2, and then Bruno and Rashford were kind of maybe, or 4-4-1-1. Bruno and Rashford up top, Mata on the right, James on the left. The Mata James, that's like too light, sir. Like Laurent Blanc told us at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester, too light up front. You got Greenwood. We got to get him in there. We need a little more spice. And then you're right, the midfield too. If you're going to play Fred McTominay, play the back 5. That works so well at PSG. Why don't you play that this time? Again, I think Ole did miss it. Credit to him, though. 25 minutes in, he did change the formation, went back to the 4-2-3-1, opened it up. We looked much better. Dan James, that final product, still missing.
No, and I would have put in Donny up front, instead of James, because his ability to hold on to the ball, maybe create more with Bruno and Mata. I would have maybe switched out a Fred or a McTominay for a Matic. I think he's raring to go. Maybe he's injured. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's holding back for some reason, too many games. But I would have switched something out because I agree. The 2 midfield that we saw already in PSG, you got options. Use them.
Yeah, and Ole's comments before the game was kind of like, when players play well, they deserve to start. It's kind of a weird I think it's more of a squad mentality versus there's a starting 11 mentality. Somehow, like Fred and McTominay play well, they play until they don't. You're right. What does Matic and Pogba got to do to get a game? What does Donny van de Beek got to do to get a game, or even a sub? He's looked absolutely lights out. You got to be playing him against Chelsea, or maybe he's going to start against Leipzig. That's going to be the key. If Ole rotates heavy against Leipzig, this might make more sense. But you have to look in the context of tight fixtures, a lot going on here for Manchester United. But again, I that midfield too, that's the big question for me.
Yeah, especially because after beating PSG, I don't know, I think this game prioritizes over Leipzig in some ways because you need a big win in the league. Everyone's talking about Chelsea, and Frankie, and a big win against them. It kind of just shuts that narrative down early. And so I would have liked to see Matic, Pogba go for it, smack him around. And I don't think, we took him to the sword like we could have in that first half.
All right, first half jumping in. Both teams slow to get start, kind of back and forth. A little sloppy play for Manchester United here. Like we said, first 20 minutes, nothing doing. And that's when we were kind of in that 4-4-2. Ole then pivots into the 4-2-3-1. We looked much better. We're able to get James forward, Rashford forward, Bruno on the ball, and things started to open up from there. 31st minute, better for Manchester United. James finds Bruno, and he takes a nice pop from outside the box. This was kind of really when the game started getting going, when Ole changed things up. Hysterically, NBC LFC didn't call the change while they're broadcasting. They're too busy hating on Manchester United or in the booth at halftime, sir. I don't even know what they're watching. Let's get the American Red Devils on there to announce these games. 33rd minute, Fred gives it away in a bad area. Pooley goes in. This one from Fred, a howler, but he was tidy the rest of the game, so I forgive him for this one.
He was. He made an early mistake that, fortunately for us, we were not punished. I think Lindelof and Maguire were resolute in the center.
Yep.
So they played well all day, but Fred, I think, learned from this mistake. He grew into the game a little bit.
And that's what you want. If your midfielder makes a mistake, you want the center back to be able to bail him out.
Exactly.
The right back to be able to bail him out, and we did that. And any time Chelsea got the ball in a dangerous area, we were there for the block. Maguire with some block. Lindelof with a great performance today. So again, shout out to United defense. Pre-international break looking like Swiss cheese. Now we look like we're actually getting there. We're gelling. 35th minute, best chance of the half for United. Mata puts in a peach of a ball for Rashford. Forces the shot. Good shot from Rashford. Mendy, good save. Rashford, he kind of had a little more on it, kind of bended it. Might have been a goal, but again, you can't blame him. It's wet, cold night in Manchester. Mendy, credit to him.
It's a good pass. It's a good take from Rashford. It was a warning sign about the goal that we were facing because it was a really good foot save because what would have been a very important
Kick
goal.
save and a beauty, sir.
Honestly, and it was a bad sign of what he was capable of.
41st minute, Mata with a nice curling effort. Dan James had a good pass into Mata. Great chance here. Another Mendy save. 2 opportunities. The best chances of the first half go to United. Like I said, started kind of shaky. Ole changed it up. We started playing well. That is the theme of this match, but not enough. Couldn't beat Mendy, sir. Going to halftime. What do you make of it?
I'm a big early sub guy. No, Ole isn't. He doesn't like to do the halftime subs. I was certainly thinking about it, but he's certainly going to say a little bit more conviction. You got to play more direct because I think they were there to be had. And they got some, they're lacking a pace in the back, and you can definitely go at them if you got into space, which they tried to do with James and Rashford. So I did like that Ole told the center backs try and pick out his runners. So I would say more of that, trying to find open space and just get behind the Chelsea back four.
Yeah, Chelsea, we're planning on sitting deep, so the press has got to be on. We got to be one unit. Sir, jumping in second half, United come out the better side. Chelsea did start well. We have conceded early in the second half, but we didn't bend, don't break stuff there. And then Ole changed it up early. I mean, I thought that was the move. Pogba, Cavani come on for Mata and James. What'd you make of this sub? Cavani, his debut?
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see Donny just because he's got more minutes in him. He looks really sharp, and I think you put in Cavani maybe at the end, last 10 minutes, see if you can get a late chance. He did get an early chance, which nothing came of, but I don't know. I wasn't sure about these because not that much came doing right away.
Rarely does Ole do the double sub, and then the one note on the double sub is when Pogba came in, he went to 10, Bruno went on the right. And obviously Fred McTominay midfield too. That was strange because then Bruno he kind of was lost on the right, wasn't on the ball. Pogba playing 10. I think the move is you take out Fred or McTominay, you put Pogba in the 2, and you let Bruno and Pogba just manage that thing in the middle. I didn't like the Pogba at 10, Bruno on the right. To me, that was weird. And you're right, Cavani coming in early. It's almost like a 82nd minute, try to steal it at the death, Fellaini header.
Right. In the box, dangerous. But instead, we couldn't get the ball from the defense to Pogba. Because the link, we didn't have that, like either Bruno dropping down to kind of link up the two, and we missed that. I would have kept Mata in or got Ndani in, so I'm not sure that worked right away.
But again, Ole did make the adjustment later when Bruno would come into the two, and things looked a lot better for United. We started being able to go forward more confidently. So Ole kind of this is kind of like the tinkering here, and against a good Chelsea side, and we're just like, honing that Ferrari. 59th minute, Cavani goes close right away. Nice little flick from a corner, goes wide. This was a really dangerous opportunity. 60th minute, dangerous from Chelsea. Pooley misses a great chance on the edge of the box. He did beat him, but he had that Pedro-esque finish, hit it right at De Gea. 69th minute, Rashford found over the top. He cuts it back, but effort was well blocked. This one, another great ball from Maguire. 80th minute, Lindelof driving forward. Need to see more of that from the Swedish international. I thought he had a great day. Some grit. He showed some grit out there.
He did, him and Maguire. And I liked about this last 15 minutes is United, it felt vintage. It was like they were pouring it on. We were the better side. Chelsea was like hanging on. And, resolute Chelsea actually kept us from getting some good shots in because a lot of blocking. But United were the better side at the end.
Nothing like Lindelof. Nothing like a center back in FIFA or real life, just split in the midfield and running forward into the box. Great stuff from Lindelof. Need more of that. 83rd minute sub. Greenwood for McTominay. So this is when Bruno would drop into the two. Greenwood would go out on the right. I think we needed Greenwood maybe earlier.
Yep.
For Mata. Keep James on. Get Bruno, Pogba, James, Greenwood, and Rashford. I think that would have been a little more aggressive from Ole there. But he brings in Greenwood a little late. 88th minute. Nice ball for Mason. Immediately comes on, puts it on Cavani's boot. I keep saying Cavani. Sorry, our pronunciation record.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while.
Puts it on Cavani's boot. He had a great shot. It was going on target, but a good block from Thiago Silva, right? So Chelsea upgrading the defense. They get a new keeper. That really was the difference. I think United, if they have Kepa and they put in, the poor man's Silva, I think we're winning this game easily. They made the moves, a keeper and defender, and I think that made the difference because in the 91st minute, another great save from Mendy, curling Rashford effort. This one should have been another goal. You can see the reaction all the way on the sideline. So takeaway, United batter Chelsea at home. Mendy has a hell of a day, and that's the difference.
Well, think about it. Frank got his upgrades, and they made a difference today, kept them in this game. Poor Ole did not. His number 7 that he brought on the pitch was not Jadon Sancho, my man. He was not, no shame on Edinson Cavani. That's a tough one, dude. It's got an N in there, just hidden.
Say Cavani.
Yeah, that's much easier.
El Matador.
But he didn't have his, not that United played badly and that's any excuse, but it would be nice to see Jadon Sancho come in for those last 40 minutes. And to be honest, you probably should have brought in Mason Greenwood instead because in his last 10 minutes, he had more of an impact than even Cavani did in his 40. So either way, like what we're seeing from United, like what we're seeing from Ole, he's going for it. He's showing that he can, make changes mid-game, which, to be honest, he probably didn't do as well last year. So he is growing into this job.
No, and look, for me, it's Ole is growing into the job and he's learning, because the move was he started with the 4-4-2. Changed it up immediately. Then we started running at him. Then in the second half, he put Pogba at 10, and then you realized Bruno's not on the ball, and then he brought him inside. So he did make the adjustments, and in the last 10 minutes, we looked great. And look, if Ole now he knows. He's taking notes. And next time we play Chelsea, it's going to be 3-0. Don't worry about it. Match reaction, jumping into the stats, 50-50 possession. Shots on target, 4-1 to United's favor. 10-5 total shots in United's favor. Corners, 9-6. We dominate all over the park. I would say a great performance from Manchester United. A lot of fans moaning, I won 3 points, but you also need to take a look at what did the manager do during the match? Did he make the right decisions? When he made a mistake, did he change it? He did. And did we look good coming in? If there was another 10 minutes, we would have got the winner. Fergie time, baby.
Do we have better chances? Do we play better? Do we stifle this so exciting Chelsea attack that we've heard about for weeks and weeks and weeks? Dude, they shut them down. They didn't create shit. That best ball they had was that one in the 60th minute that arguably Pulisic should have been at the end of. But other than that, they created very little.
Sir, I mean...
Respect.
Show some respect. It's a draw, but you got to respect the draw, sir, when we play well.
I guarantee all you hear about is the Maguire pull down because they showed that highlight
we didn't
4
talk about
times
that.
before we switched from NBC to Telemundo. Great choice, huge upgrade immediately. But all they did, they showed it like 3 or 4 times. It's like, I know maybe in 2020 that is a pen, but back in the day that was never pen.
No, it's not. Look, you watch English Premier League soccer. There's one thing, like as an American, like when I started watching it 16 years ago, you're like, you can really tackle a guy in the box, and it's just not a thing to call it a penalty. It's just not a thing. Now, similar with keepers off the line and pens, that wasn't a thing. So if they want to make it a thing and they want to call it and start calling it and warn players, because usually what happens is they'll say, hey, we're going to start warning players. If you do that in the box, they send them examples and they say, you do this, it's going to be a pen. They want to change that. They want to change it. But right now in English football, have a go, Harry Maguire. What a towering header. Aspilicueta. Quit your moaning. You want to moan about a penalty. Your team played like shit. You got played off the park at Old Trafford. Don't worry about it. Sir, jumping into the match reaction, Bruno Fernandes created more chances, 18 than any other player in the Premier League. Bruno, Portuguese Magnifico. And Manchester United failed to win their opening 3 home games this season for the first time since 72-73. Sir, stop putting the negative recaps here.
I just put everything in, sir. You got the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Manchester United are without a home league win in 5 games. Their longest run without a victory at Old. Sir, this is
That's
not
all we
good.
got, bro. Keep going.
Sir, we're Manchester United fans. We're supposed to be biased.
I'm just telling you the stats.
At 33 years old and 253 days, Edison Cavani became Manchester United's oldest Premier League debutant since Zlatan Ibrahimovic in August 2016.
There you go.
He was at 34 years old and 316 days. That's kind of neutral, you know.
Yeah, our oldest debutante is not really a great stat.
Look, yeah, in a 0-0 draw, you're not going to get a lot out
No,
of
you're
here. Let's jump into the man of the match poll. Sir, who is your man of the match? What do you think?
Man of the match. I mean, I have to agree with the fans. That's probably Lindelof. You know, Lindelof or Harry Maguire, one of the 2 center backs. I think, they did such a solid job shutting down the Chelsea attack that one of those games where it's hard to pick one. You know, it's kind of like PSG. There's so many standout just team performances that I'll give it to Harry. Why not? All
right, I'm gonna say Victor. I think he showed a little more going forward today. I think he showed grit at the back, and that's what you want to see from the Swede. From a fan's perspective, they voted 47% Victor Lindelof. The next highest, Fred, with 24.3%. I do think he put in a shift other than that one error. Rashford, 18.6%. Bruno, 10.1%. Bruno did kind of go wayward. Everyone's saying, how the F is Fred in this poll? Come on, sirs.
You got second in the poll, though.
A lot of people voting AWB, Maguire, and then anyone but Dan James. People taking little shots at Dan James. I don't think he played terrible, but again, that final decision is it's just really not there for Dan James at the moment. And I think coming off the bench might be a better spot for him, right? Coming off the bench.
Totally, especially when he's gotten some minutes, and I think Donnie needs some minutes. I'm very shocked that Donnie did not start today. You know, maybe he's saving from RB, the game I'm about to talk about, but he deserves to get more minutes. He's that player has so much talent. You've seen it. In the glimpses we've seen of him, 15, 20 minutes, he looks a proper player.
Sir, we don't quite have the Ole presser up because it's just not live yet. We're doing this right after we record the match. We do have some Sky Sports banter between from Patrice Evra. We're going to jump into that. Again, we haven't listened to it, sir, because you know what?
We'll do it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. We're jumping into Patrice Evra here. Oh, we got a little ad action, sir. So let's recap what we got from Patrice the Beast here. Is it going to be positive about United, negative about United?
I think he's going to be I think he's going to defend United, and this other guy will look to slate him.
All right, here we go.
Well, on the penalty incident, and we will come to that in due course, but he started off, Jimmy, with that sense of frustration that there was something in that game for Chelsea.
Yeah, I think both sides can say that, and all the players will have that feeling a little bit, because both sides started really okay, we don't want to concede. Chelsea definitely did that because they changed their shape. It was all about stopping the transition for Chelsea, and they did that. But then you need to progress. It's still for Frank, to find the balance, because now he's got 2 clean sheets, but he hasn't scored twice, and they didn't really look like scoring majority of the time. And there is where that is a little bit disappointed because normally they have been really creative in creating chances and scoring goals.
Can you understand, one, why the managers would be cautious, and two, question whether it was too cautious, particularly in the case of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Patrice?
No, I think like Jimmy said, was a safety game. I understand that. The things I don't understand, I can see like tonight, I didn't see like 7, I would say, good pass. Playing it from the back, okay, of course it was a boring game. I think like just the player today, they play with a safety jacket. And I don't like that. I'm more about entertainment. So that's why sometimes Jimmy disagree with me. But of course, I've been there. But I always like promote like playing without fear. And I don't like when player play with fear. And to be fair, I'm not surprised. The best player for Chelsea was Thiago Silva. The best player for Manchester United was Lindelof. Actually, we play in the back four. Maguire, I have a really solid game. So, yeah, of course, I'm happy, but it's not enough.
I want to see entertaining football as well. Don't get me wrong. I want to see goals.
You didn't look like that the first time. When I talk, you were like...
No, I understand why they play with 5 at this moment of time and why they are looking for a clean sheet.
All right, look, a little harsh from Patrice the Beast saying that it wasn't entertaining football. They're wearing the safety jacket. I don't know. The last 10 minutes we're going for it. I do agree the first half was a little off, but Ole did switch it up and then eventually found that attacking form that Manchester United needed. So I might have to disagree with Patrice the Beast a little bit, even though I'm wearing his shirt, sir. I'm wearing his shirt 09-10. The first jersey I wore at Old Trafford. I'm wearing it right now.
You got to caveat that. But I agree. It's like you have to acknowledge who was the better side at the end of the game and who was actually pressing forward, trying to get the win, and what team was just sitting back and just trying to not lose. And there's got to be a distinction made, because I agree this game was boring for large swaths of it. Probably wasn't enough in it. You probably could have used to switch up the sides a little bit. It was a defensive game, right? It was like the two standouts on both sides was either Mendy or Silva, or you could say Lindelof and Maguire. So either way, it's one of those games that just ended the way it did, but United were the better side. They were trying to win it. I think we have to acknowledge that.
Sir, I feel good. As a Chelsea fan who's trying to defend that performance, you know you're lying. As a United fan, I can walk away proud. I know we're going to win in our next match, sir. That's right. There's always a next match as a Manchester United fan. Manchester United versus RB Leipzig at Old Trafford, sir. We're playing at home. That's going to be great for the lads. Wednesday, October 28th, 1 p.m. Pacific. Interesting kickoff. They got the Wednesdays going at 1. There's also going to be Juventus versus Barcelona, the Ronaldo versus Messi matchup at the same time. So, I might have to do the dual screen.
I think the 1 p.m. is because I believe they have like European daylight savings is tomorrow. I think they said so. It's like there's a couple week gap and then it'll catch up. But hey, sir, we're playing on Wednesday, baby. As long as we ain't playing on Thursday, I don't care.
Woo! Yeah, Uzbekistan. We even forgot, sir. We got to get it going here.
It doesn't get old.
So are you going to sing it for us? You going to chime in with the angelic voices here?
After you, mate.
Sir, it doesn't get better than that. That music sends chills down my spine every time I hear it. Manchester United playing Wednesday, like we said. Playing for keeps, RB Leipzig, sir. The group as it stands, we are drawn with them for the top spot. They have us on goal differential. We both have 3 points, sir. Their goal differential is 2. Ours is 1. We win, we go top. PSG playing Istanbul. Have a laugh.
They're going for a win. This is basically the two favorites of the group now, right? I guess if you think about it. So, an important match for United, an important match for Ole. They've shown it. They're not intimidated by the angelic sounds that you're greeted with in the Champions League versus the horns of the Europa League. So, the horns, those hard Thursday horns. So, big match. We got to kick on from the result in Paris, win at home, because we haven't, I don't know, the United boys have just not been as effective at home as we're used to seeing. Our mojo's all been on the road. So a big win at home against RB, who went to the semifinals last year, would do the side a lot of good.
No, absolutely. And look, Champions League is one of those things where we forgot the music. So, it's like, I forgot the music. There's like a lot going on these days. These fixtures coming fast and hard, and there's nothing like playing Champions League football. The fact that we were able to beat PSG, just, special place in my heart. Look, Manchester United have never played RB Leipzig, so you're going to be witnessing the first fixture ever between these two clubs. What a night, sir. What a night under the lights.
Night to remember. Wish the fans could be there. That would be a truly special night. Packed Old Trafford, welcoming RB for the first time. They'd be full of voice, sir.
No, absolutely. And Leipzig coming in on good form, sir. We'd say decent form on the pod. They've won 5 of the last 6, drawing 1. Again, playing in the Bundesliga, looking at the teams, not a lot doing. They did play Istanbul. They beat them 2-0. Like we talked about, they do lead us on goal differential. And United, we've won 4 of their last 6. We lost 1 and drawing 1, obviously, against Chelsea. Or the stats haven't been updated. So of the last 7, we've lost 1 and drawn 2.
There you go, sir. So decent, as we would say on the pod, decent form.
Yeah, decent form. So either way, look, RB Leipzig, they ain't no boogeyman. You look at their starting 11. Maybe with Timo Werner, you might be a little nervous. But, it's not something to be worried about. We should be winning. We are favorites to win. Although there's kind of a lot of sex appeal about this team, their manager, how they've done last season, we should be just smoking them, sir. Rasen Ballsport Leipzig, a.k.a. Lawn Bowl Sports Leipzig, commonly known as RB Leipzig, is a German professional soccer club. They are based in Leipzig in Saxony. They were founded in 2009, so like the newest club that we've ever played here in a while.
Yep.
By the initiative of the company Red Bull GmbH. We all know Red Bull, sir. It gives you wings. And they purchased the playing rights of the 5th-tier side SSV Kronstadt. And essentially changed them to RB Leipzig. That's why they have that Red Bull shirt. And in 2009, a little history for you, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was ditched on the Hudson River. Sully, Miracle on the Hudson, sir. That's how recent RB Leipzig has been founded. It's crazy. You see football teams going all the way back to 80s. Then you got football teams 2009, and they're Champions League semifinal. So, hey, that's a hell of a turnaround.
It's a well-run club for sure. 2009, also United history. Remember that final losing to Barcelona in Rome, being in Rome. Sir, I'm just saying, you got to remember the goods and the bads, man. You got to remember the goods and the bads. Because
why would you remember the bad when you got so much good? That's all I got to say.
Like Sully. Miracle on the Hudson, baby.
Sully, sir.
Love me some Sully.
I'm thinking Sully.
You ever see that movie? Don't see it.
Sir,
it's a
growing
bore.
up in New Jersey, the Hudson is cold. It's cold on the Hudson.
I think it was in January, too. It was very cold.
It predates cell phones. No one had the iPhone to take a video of that landing. RB Leipzig plays its home matches at Red Bull Arena, and the club is nicknamed Die Rotten Bullen. The Red Bulls, due to the energy drink, sir, and there being a lot of Red Bull in this thing. RB, they got the nickname Red Bull. They're hopped up on Red Bull. So
full corporate.
They have to. They inject that into their veins before the match, so they're gonna be all over the pitch. Tactics wise, the manager gets a little funky. Playing the 4-1 versus Istanbul. Essentially, they throw everything in the kitchen sink forward. Pretty much, they call it FIFA ball here. If you really look at it, though, attacking is a 4-3-3, and then defending is the 4-1-4-1. Comparing the attacks, RB Leipzig has scored in this season so far 10 goals on 22 shots. Manchester United has scored 9 on 22 shots. The two best players of RB Leipzig are Yusuf Poulsen with 2 goals and Emil Forsberg with 2 goals. Their expected goal value per 90 minutes is 1 and 0.44 respectively. The two best attacking players for Manchester United, no surprise, Bruno Fernandes with 3, Marcus Rashford with 2. Because they play more, their expected goals 0.74 and 0.37 respectively. So, look, Leipzig has the edge when you get into the weeds on the attacking stats, but they play against lower opposition. I do think that we should be winning this game decently comfortable. If we struggle, that's a sign something's going wrong. I think there's a little more pressure on Ole to get the starting 11 right because I don't think he got it right to start in Chelsea, although he did finish strong.
I do think you need to give this Leipzig team some credit, sir. They did make it to the semifinals of the Champions League last year. It's a talented squad for a reason.
This guy's nervous. Nervous. Well,
don't be like, they're just like some shit sides, sir. You got to take them seriously, and I think you got to... I don't know if you do the 4-3-3. I don't know if you go 5 in the back and do what you did against PSG. There's an argument for both. But sir, they're not a minnow, sir. I keep talking, sir. What's the line?
This guy's nervous.
I ain't nervous, bro. I'm never nervous. I'm an ex-United fan. Never run from a fight.
Sir, Miracle on the Hudson FC.
Sully! Love me some Sully.
You're afraid of Miracle on the Hudson FC? Get out of here.
I'm not worried about FC Leipzig, sir.
Leipzig, Red Bull. I mean, come on.
Dude, Vardy special, bro. Red Bull vodka special.
Sir, how many leagues did we win before Leipzig was founded? Come on. It's like... Form is temporary. Class is permanent. Slap them around the pitch. We're playing at home. Dude, you got to win your home games, sir. You got to win your home games. Physio room. Bailly, he's out. We know him. Made of glass. Martial. Martial is suspended on the red, but he will be back and feature in the Champions League. Jesse Lingard out as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, getting in those, little personal beef there. Phil Jones. Phil Jones with the knee injury. Given those injuries, sir, what do you make? What is your lineup here?
So this is who I got for the midweek matchup. I got Hendo and net. He needs some minutes. I got a back 4. Actually, I'm going to do back 3. I'm going to do AWB as a right wing back, Twanzebe, Lindelof, Shaw as 3 center backs, and then Telles, Hendo, Dino. And then a midfield, Matic, Van de Beek, Pogba, and a front 2 of Martial and Greenwood.
You're going to bench the world number 1?
Sir, I think Dino needs some minutes.
Cup keeper, mate. FA Cup, EFL.
Yeah, no, but there's a lot of games, sir.
De Gea is playing. Look,
tell me what do you foresee, mate?
Sir, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Twanzebe, Lindelof, Telles, Matic, Pogba, Van de Beek, Rashford, Martial, Greenwood. 4, 2, 3, 1. We looked good today, and that front 3: Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, Van de Beek in there. Bruno's got to get a rest. And Van de Beek needs a start.
Yep.
And you can always bring Bruno on.
Right. And that's why I would have played him today. I would have given him some minutes because he looks raring to go. He's a kid. He's got plenty of tank in the gas in the tank, sir. I'm dyslexic. That's why I always mix up the words. But he's like, dude, he's ready to go.
Tank in the gas.
Sir, what else did I say today? You saw him on the sideline today. He looks ready to play and he wants minutes. There are plenty of games to go around. Fred, sir, take a seat for a second.
I'm just going to say the new term on the podcast is going to be Alex-isms. Today he said, turning the strings. Iron strengthens iron. I believe it's iron sharpens iron. Turning the screws.
No, it is. Not believe it is.
He's got a goal for nose, he said. And then
that's the dyslexia, sir. Just popping it.
Whatever you said, you're the best commentator I've ever met.
That's why Arlo still has a job, sir.
It's like
somehow.
If you were the color guy, turning the strings, Arlo, they'd be like, back to you.
The guy was, anyway, keep going.
It goes, look, we covered the table. If anyone wins, they will go top. A draw will see us in second with RB Leipzig ahead. Booking the bookies, United favorites plus 125 to win. The draw plus 230. Leipzig plus 230. So, yeah, you're right. We're not going to, the bookies have it. We're not going to stomp them, but you're still making money for Manchester United to win straight up. First-time goal scorer, Martial and Bruno, Rashford, Cavani, all plus 450. Igalo plus 500. Mason plus 550 and Van de Beek plus 850. So seeing that, they're looking at Martial, Bruno, Rashford, maybe Van de Beek, and a Greenwood. Cavani, I think he needs to be on the bench for a little bit. I think he needs to get fitness in training and kind of gel with the squad because the Greenwood's got to be coming ahead of him. Those types of players. I want Cavani coming on as that sub, low pressure situation, need a goal. I think that's where he would excel for us right now versus making him the main man to start.
And totally, I want to play based on who looks to be in form at the moment. When Greenwood came on for those 10 minutes, unfortunately, he just made more happen than Edinson made in 40. So I think knowing that and seeing Donny looking full of energy every time he shows up on the pitch, both those players got to be, for me, starting.
Well, part of it is one of those things where you look at Cavani, and I think there was a mix-up where it's like Cavani went long, and then I think Fred or Bruno thought he was going to come short. There's just kind of that. They need to gel.
Newness.
You need to know kind of, okay, how are we get the best out of Cavani? Is he going to be in behind from the wing? Is he going to come short and then go spread it? Is he going to play 1-2? I mean, these are things that players got to get used to, and after 7 days, it's not going to happen. And when you see that on the pitch, it's evident. And that's why, you can even say the Chelsea players, that's why they don't look that good. That's why Kai Havertz doesn't look that good. Sell, sir, all day.
I mean, I think that's also, do you play Edinson Cavani without having an Alex Telles to like whip those balls in, which you didn't have today?
Sir, score prediction for Manchester United versus RB Leipzig.
3-1, Manchester United. League 1, but Greenwood gets his goals. Martial gets a goal.
All right, I'm going to say 2-0 Manchester United clean sheet at home. Score 2, Leipzig. Who are you? That is the results, sir. United in the news. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer defends media target Mason Greenwood after illness. I don't know where the press gets off, sir. Mason Greenwood getting slated by the English press. They're harsh.
All week, we're hearing about tardiness. Sun's just slating them. They love to bag on a player. They love to bag on our boy, our golden boy, Mason Greenwood. Hey, we like a little edge in him. We know he's got it. He got kicked out of the England camp, was like shagging the Icelandic beauty queen. Why not? Now Ole is defending him, said he's never had a problem with tardiness. This is a bunch of bollocks. So what do you make of it?
I make nothing of it. Look, the reason why we tweet out the rags, the headlines, is just so you get an idea of kind of what it's like to be in England. One of the fun things that we do when we travel and we go to matches, we buy all the rags, we get all the headlines, and there's a lot out there, right? And footballers, they sell papers, and for some reason, England has a destructive media where they just want to tear down Harry Maguire. They want to tear down Mason Greenwood, Phil Foden. This is what England does.
Sterling, they just bag on him. They find a guy and they just like bag on you.
Yeah, and they love Phil. Nothing makes sense, sir. This is a big nothing burger. I want Mason Greenwood to prove it on the pitch. I want him to hit 20 goals. That's more what I'm worried about. Whether he was sick, whether Ole told him show up on time, whether he's going through a little, he's a young lad. Mason Greenwood, I'm not worried about now. He's going to always have adversity, sir. How does he react to it? And at 22, is he that 200 million pound Mbappe type all-star, the world he should be? Because that's really what we need to be focused on, growing him as a talent. And I like Ole taking him out for, a week. Give him a rest. That's how you manage. Man management, sir. We had a good manager who knew how to do it. That's the name of the game. This is man management.
And Ole's got options. He actually has some options. Doesn't have to start him because he has an Edinson that's ready to step up. He can play a Dan James. He can play Donny van de Beek. He's learning how to rotate.
Next bit of news: Manchester United's new winger Facundo Pellistri caught the eye on his introduction to English football on Friday night, completing 90 minutes for the club's under-23 side against Everton. Per ManchesterUnited.com. So you're the scout here at American Red Devils. What do you make of Facundo?
Facundo getting the kind of exposure that he should be getting, right? He should not be rushing to the first team. Under 23s, we said it when we signed him, is about right, what he needs. Showed some signs of it, show that he's about ready for under 23s in England. With this team, with Hannibal, with a lot of the talents that he's got, it's a good side for him to beef up a little bit, get used to the pace, get used to the physicality. I thought you showed a little bit of his trickery. Dude, he's going to need at least a season before I think you even throw him into English football at its highest level.
No, absolutely. And it's good that he had a good debut. We'll monitor it. The only thing that's off about this deal is because it was marketed like a first-team signing.
Exactly.
And that's just because Eddie got no cash.
Right.
And he's just trying to make something out of nothing. And that's what Ed Woodward's trying to do. He's just trying to play those, trying to smoke us out.
Because even the deal he did get, which is an exciting deal, it's our Martial 2020, which is the Amad Diallo Traore deal. He prefers to go by Diallo. We don't even get to January because he would be playing. He's a player, bro.
Sir.
He's ready to go. He is ready to go. Facundo, he's a long con. I'm excited about him, but not today. Diallo, I'm excited about today. Bye.
We're buying Diallo all day, sir.
He wouldn't be starting, but he'd be playing.
You got Dan, it's like you got Dan James. Sorry, you got Diallo. When Dan James can play on the right, but when you see Bruno on the right, that's where you like to bring in a Diallo on the right, put Bruno in the two. He gives you that extra option, that extra depth, sir. And I like what I see so far. Next bit of news: Marcus Rashford takes UK child poverty policy in his own hands. Shout out to the soon-to-be Sir Marcus Rashford. What he's doing for meals for children who are going hungry in England is unbelievable. Essentially because of COVID, children aren't going to school, and so the free meal program was not going to be extended. He's called for the government to provide 1.5 million children with food vouchers during the holidays until Easter 2021. And, he's campaigning to vote in the House of Commons. They put forth a motion to essentially extend the free meal kits, the meal plans, but was defeated 322 votes to 261. So essentially, Marcus Rashford pleading with the government to extend the free meal program for children. The government shutting it down. Obviously, COVID, tough time on everyone out in the UK, but you hate to see people opposing this. And then after it was defeated, Marcus Rashford, he didn't take the loss, sir. He started tweeting out restaurants and private businesses who were giving away free meals to children during the school break. Marcus Rashford on and off the pitch, absolute class. Support him in this effort.
No, he's a legend on and off the pitch. I love the fact that he gets defeated and he just keeps going, because that shows what kind of personality he has, his resilience, he won't take no for an answer. And I like that, because that's the type of players we need. That's the type of temperament we need. And it's a classy type of player, and that's, who he is. And that's exciting because he's an academy player. He is a great talent, and he just represents Manchester United the very most every single day. So Marcus Rashford, the best of us.
No, absolutely. And a young lad using his platform, could you imagine scoring the winner at PSG and then traveling back to England, and the first thing on your mind is supporting this, they don't call it a bill, but essentially, a motion. In England, I don't know how anything works over there, sir. Everything's upside down. Other than the dark ales. I get the dark ales.
Those work.
But, to be able to focus on this, to fight for this, and be able to perform on the pitch, absolute class for Marcus Rashford. So, a big clap here for the American Red Devils to soon to be Sir Marcus, and I do hope that they find a way to get this done. Look, Manchester United, they did release their finances, sir. I went through all the numbers. Look, United, I'll write an article for americanreddevils.com, sir, but in short, the Glazers, they paid their dividend. United losing cash hand over fist. I think they had a net profit of about £5 million. Their cash balance, exactly what I predicted actually in my model, 50 million, sir. So we need 108 million pounds to sign Jadon Sancho. I forget, but essentially we only had 50 million on the books. So the whole time we just didn't have the money to do the Sancho deal. So I don't know why the press was so focused on it. I ran some early numbers and it just came up, completely bogus. Other highlights from the press conference. Commercial revenue was up. I thought that was interesting. Broadcasting revenue was down big because of no Champions League last season. Remember, this is the 2020 results, which end in June. Matchday revenue was down 20%, which is exactly what we thought. And their net debt, because cash is just going down, it was up 132%. Net debt of $474 million. So there's tons of debt, low cash. Only made $5.2 million, sir. They're barely hanging on. They're cutting wages as well. United on the financial side, Woodward made a ton of excuses. We posted the full financial call, the quarter ending call on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out. The first 5 minutes, Ed Woodward talks about transfers and how we were competitive in the market. And he said Chelsea was an outlier. No one was doing what they were doing. If you looked at the EPL and how much money all the other clubs spent, we're kind of at the bottom. I'll be summarizing this in an article for americanreddevils.com, but just kind of the highlights. United losing cash, still taking the dividend. The Glazers still taking money out when this club desperately needs cash, sir. And just the debt screaming sky high. Hashtag Glazers out. I'm wearing my scarf right now, green and gold. It's a shame to see this business run this poorly. And again, they're not even going to do a call next quarter. That's like almost unheard of. They're basically just not going to deal with the questions because they know it's going to be ugly until they can get fans and seats. And that was a big component of the call as well.
Well, hopefully they're selling the club. But I love, you want to know everything wrong with the media and the news in England is that the fact that Mason Greenwood allegedly being late is a bigger story than the fact Manchester United has no cash, no money, because the club has been bled dry by negligent owners, greedy owners, whatever you want to say. But that's your Sancho deal. There's your transfers in a nutshell. And it made very little noise. There was very little noise in the football blogosphere about the fact that United just broke as a joke. And it's not because of COVID. It's because the fact that the club has been poorly run.
Other notes from the CFO, they're not going to provide forward guidance on revenue and EBITDA. They're sweating, sir. They're not even going to have the conference call. They're not giving guidance to investors on what they can expect from an earnings perspective because they're just dying. One note was United did extend their short sponsorship with Chevrolet for 6 months, ending on December 2021. I thought that was a win a little bit, and then I just realized that no, Chevrolet's hurting so bad they don't have the money to pay United. That's why they're doing a little delayed deal, so United gets a little extra time. Our GM will get a little extra time on the shirt. You know it, sir. I mean, I don't buy anything from manunited.com anymore anyway, protesting the ownership, but I said I'd never buy a jersey with the Chevrolet on it. I haven't. So I'm just waiting for December 2021 and some new owners so I can get back in the United kit game.
Maybe get some new owners, maybe get some Nike game. But either way, the thing that's funny about this is we've been waiting for this call. We basically knew this by doing the model. And we've talked about it all summer, and now it's October. And they basically just, the window itself kind of cemented the fact that they had no cash because they didn't spend any cash.
Exactly.
And now the results, the financial results, what we're basically being like, oh, we did great. We were really competitive in the window. Aston Villa spent double what we spent, but Chelsea was an outlier. Dude, he's dancing because he's not really responsible to anybody. This company's not like publicly traded. They're publicly traded in name only. It's owned by a family.
They are not going to have a call, and they're not providing forward guidance. Companies that are going out of business do that type of stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, this is Manchester United. Scary to see that on that side, but we'll be reporting. Look, like you said, we did the model. We said, hey, if Manchester United make Champions League, we probably would have around 50 million if we spend X, and that's where we're at. I mean, you can play a little trickeration with financials, but it's pretty black and white. And you heard it here on the pod. Manchester United don't have the cash to get Jadon Sancho, and we didn't have the cash to get Jadon Sancho. That dictated our window. I will be dropping that article on americanreddevils.com probably next week, sir. Got a lot going on. The little lad's first birthday, so I haven't been able to sit down and update the model. It takes some time. But let's jump in. Fan questions. A little harsh here from the fans. They want those 3 points. Hungry.
It is
for
Twitter.
Those 3 points.
It is Twitter.
At Dave Paz, quote, boring. I know Ole likes the work rate and solidity from Fred and Scott, but they lack the vision and speed to get the ball forward to Bruno and Rashi. I don't know why he's not giving Donny his chance. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. Fred and Scott, they did struggle as a midfield too when Bruno was on the right. They couldn't get the ball. They couldn't make that transition to Paul Pogba as number 10.
I mean, you got to fit Paul Pogba. You got to fit Nemanja Matic. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Where does Pogba play best for France? He plays deep, sir. Deeps and just sprays the ball.
He played well.
long.
He played well next to Nemanja last season.
It's like
with Bruno in front of
listens
him.
to-
He forgets like what you did well 2 months ago. It worked really well.
He's like he listens to the English, like, oh, yeah, Pogba forward. I mean, like, maybe late in the game, but like, no, we need to get Pogba to get on the ball deep and just spread it to Bruno and Rashford. It's
because he's worried about him defensively, I think. Right? He's worried that he's a little bit of a liability because he doesn't have the same work rate as McTominay or Fred, I believe.
Yes.
What do I know?
At Charlie_Ferris, quote, overall a good game after a slow start. Mendy saved Chelsea's ass. Passing wasn't great today. Would have preferred DVB over Mata. Lastly, Cavani, almost an instant hero, guys class. Good take.
I think he's going to be productive. I think he'll get more than Falcao in terms of goals, more than Sanchez in terms of goals. But I'm not sure it was the right sub. I think Donny would have made a bigger impact. I think Greenwood looked like he was ready to go.
At Red Devil Woody, quote, Fred is not a United quality player. What the hell does VDB have to do to get a start? Commentators are so biased. Woody, change it to Telemundo. Fred, I do agree. He lacked the quality going forward. The forward passing wasn't on for him today. Hasn't been on for him in a while, in my opinion, going forward. I think going back, he didn't play shabby other than that mistake.
No, and he did great, like great against PSG. Like had one of the games he's ever had in a United kit in the first place. But why do you play him again? It's like give him a break, put Matic in, and then play Fred again in Champions League because he did well in Champions League. And actually we bought him first because as Shakhtar, he played well in the Champions League, I believe against City. But either way, it's just like I think he's got to switch it up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I totally agree, and that's from where we're sitting, but there is a lot going on behind the scenes, too. They're like, the Paul Pogba not starting every game. There's something going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, right. Signed a ting.
Yeah, I know. Like, and then you get to the Matic, and it's like Ole, when Ole came in, didn't like Matic, and he put him and played great. Now Matic is out. It's kind of like a little schizophrenic, sir, from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager. At BryGuy666, quote, to me, it felt like a loss. Such a missed opportunity to get 3 points and move up in the table. Old streaky Ole back at it again. Not going to hang my head on it too much. So on to the next. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're the better side. That makes me feel a little bit better. There are definitely points that feel like they've been dropped because they were there to be had. But I would feel a lot worse if I was the Chelsea side that got every single sign we wanted and went out there and created like fuck all, because that's what they did.
At the Alex Davis 33, quote, can't believe Mendy saved that Rashford shot. He must hate children. Kepa would have been humanitarian and let that in. I love that hot banter. At Rolling In Deep 1995, quote, gritty and very slow draw. Poor starting 11 choices. Dan James with a poor game. Cavani, couple good chances, but was unfortunate up against Silva, who knows every move he'll make. Their goalkeeper saved them at the end. On to Leipzig. Glory, glory, Man United. Sir, what do you make of that?
It's a good point. Edinson and Thiago, they're buddies, right? So he does know his moves. That's where I would have loved to see Greenwood, right? His pace against old man Silva. Just take him to the cleaners.
At Jamalto, we quote, we dominated the second half, unlucky not to convert some good chances. If only Kepa was playing, I totally agree.
We would have won.
Feels like we could have used Donnie. I was shouting, we're dying for Donnie at the end. I noted all, quote, I hate draws and ties. I hate the concept overall. Play some extra time. So that's very American.
Yes.
That's the most American thing. At you, Boaston, quote, decent performance. Fred was really poor in the first half, but got better. Unlucky not to grab it in the end. Chelsea were there to defend, and they did that well. Though Lindelof played awesome. Putting together 3 difficult games and not losing is good. I do agree. Like, you want to say, look at the next couple of fixtures, sir. Say we draw 1, we win 4. We draw 2, we win 3. It's not bad because we'll have the edge in the UCL group. We'll be in the league. City drop points against West Ham. David Moyes, tactical genius, sir. It's wide open on all fronts. I think this is the bend don't break phase for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Figure it out. Figure out the best 11. Figure out the rotation. I think Ole's learning a lot right now, and that's what we're seeing.
Totally. And he's got more options at his disposal than he probably ever had since he's been manager. And also, he's working on things that were an issue at the beginning of the season, bro. We were leaking goals. Now we held the Chelsea team that everyone was talking up, creating tons of chances, scoring tons of goals, and they created very, very little against us with a Fred McTominay midfield. So step by step, baby. It's a long season.
Absolutely. That's been a podcast. We appreciate everyone for listening. Look, American Red Devils for fans, by fans. We got the hot banter, the funny tweets. Thank you for everyone who tweets us. Thank you for everyone who's written a review and purchased the merch. It goes a long way to supporting independent fan content. That's what we're about, right? You know, we want to have this opinion. We want to be able to talk about the Glazers, talk about the finances. Look, we get it all from the English press, the sensational headlines. We got to be backing our club, sir. We got to be backing our manager, rooting for our team. And look, it's on to Red Bull Leipzig. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, whatever you do, just don't watch too much NBC Sports. If you have to, mute it because
they're bad, dude.
They don't know a thing. It's embarrassing.
It's like Arlo White and those guys. First of all, you have the ex-Chelsea player like Graham Lasso on the thing. He's just like whinging about a half chance penalty call
the whole game.
Like, this is like, what do you like? You didn't play English football, and then United changed formation in the first half, look absolutely great after that. And then they go into the studio at halftime. Not one person mentions Manchester United changed it up. Ole did it right. Manchester United looked better. They had the better chances. It's so biased, sir. Telemundo, great coverage, great goal calls. Absolutely love it. That's where you got to watch. Telemundo, sir. If we had a sponsor on the podcast, Guinness and Telemundo, sir. Those are the only ones I would allow, sir.
Guinness and Telemundo. Telemundo gets it, bro. It's like all action, and I think if anything, they're biased towards United. So I'm all about that. Yeah. They actually are. Like,
there's a strong Mexican support for Manchester United.
There is,
it's like,
dude.
and they get
Chicharito and El Manchester. Yeah.
Well, it's part of their culture. It's like NBC, the way they cover Manchester United is like that.
Respect. They have a little respect, dude. NBC Sports has no respect for Manchester United.
Respect.
None. They have none. It's true though. You feel it. You feel it all the time, bro. It's like the London-icity of the fact that they're all just like...
No, it's like history didn't start... The history started when NBC soccer started.
Exactly.
It's like, no. The big team in Manchester is United. The one who's won the most Premier League titles is United. So we go down the list. We can show them that scarf, the 2021 scarf, Greatest of English Football. We won it all. Check it out. It's awesome. Has every trophy we've ever won on the back, sir. And also, we got the Glazers Out on sale, $9.99 for this Glazers Out scarf. Looks great. Love United, hate Glazer, sir. I'm repping this one all season because we got to get the terrible ownership out.
Sir, speaking of 3 hours, I was hoping we would just bash NBC Sports for the next hour, sir. Because I could go all day, baby.
Yeah, we could go. Yeah,
we could go all day.
We could go hard. Look, if you want to support the pod, like I said, americanreddevils.com. Click on store. Get the merch, sir. Read the blog. Support us. Tweet it out. That also goes a long way. Social media. Share it. Write a review on iTunes. That's how we're found. We did a survey. We're found the most by writing reviews on iTunes. So if you have a second 5 stars, we'll send you a sticker. It's a good deal. Sir, we got some downloads last 7 days. Take us down the list.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Bothell, Washington. Number 2, L.A., California. Jayburg, Johannesburg, South Africa. Dublin, Ireland.
Have a dark ale from Dublin. Miami, Florida. Gimpo, Republic of Korea. South Korea, sir. Winteka, Illinois. Finish us off the list.
Dallas, Texas. Minneapolis, Minnesota. And last but not least, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. How you doing? How you doing? Appreciate all the downloads. Appreciate all the American Red Devils around the world listening in week out. Do not despair, boys. Future is bright. United, future is bright. We're only getting started.
Sir, absolutely.
I love this game!
That's Patrice the Beast, sir. You know, he didn't say that today, but look, it's been a real podcast. We'll be back with a pod after Wednesday. Red Bull Leipzig, then on to Arsenal, sir. It's never been a better time to be a United fan. As always,
Kicking a blue.
Kicking a blue.
The one we like most is kicking a blue.